The American dream includes financial freedom, and yet, for millions of young Americans, their parents and grandparents are struggling to retire, living on fixed incomes or working far longer than they anticipated. FIRE means financial independence, retire early. The idea is to save enough money to retire early, and we're not talking about 55. Most FIRE enthusiasts aspire to retire in their 40s. Is FIRE right for you? If you're economical, can save a high percentage of your salary for retirement and enjoy doing things yourself, a FIRE lifestyle may be right for you. Even if you don't want to go totally FIRE, components of the movement might help you achieve your financial objectives faster. But before we continue with the rest of this video, please remember to click the subscribe and thumbs up buttons, as well as the bell notification icon. This way, you'll be the first to know whenever we release new exciting videos. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure you watch the entire video, as we will mention a free way for you to win a $20 Amazon gift card. Okay, now let's continue with our video. What is financial independence? This means that an individual no longer has to work for money. In the most simple sense, putting it another way, they are no longer financially dependent on their job to pay them. To be financially independent, you must value your time at least as much as you do your money. At some point, the value of accumulating more and more assets starts to go down. This usually makes people more aware of how they spend their time. From a purely mathematical point of view, becoming financially independent means having enough assets to be able to pay for your living expenses for the rest of your life. A good place to start is to set a savings goal based on the 4% withdrawal rule. This means that you should save enough money to have a nest egg worth about 25 times your annual spending needs. In this example, if someone needs $50,000 a year, they would need to have a $1.25 million fund. What is FIRE movement? The FIRE movement is made up mostly of people who aren't very wealthy. Some of them make podcasts and blogs about FIRE, but many don't. They're all rallying around the idea of financial independence. Some are very good savers, some are very good investors, and some are very good at making money. But all of them want to cut back on how much they depend on their employers and at least be able to live their lives on their own terms. You can have the FI part of FIRE without the RE. Many people in the FIRE movement say that you should retire to a job or lifestyle that you enjoy, rather than retiring from a job or lifestyle that you don't like. When you're 35 and have nothing but time ahead, it can seem like a big deal. It's perfectly fine and very common to become financially independent, but keep working in some way. Tips to reach FIRE sooner. People who know about FIRE might think its people are very frugal. They might think that FIRE means living a life of complete sacrifice until an arbitrary portfolio value is reached. This is not true. FIRE principles, on the other hand, can be found almost anywhere. Make no mistake, there are some strategic sacrifices that must be made. Even the most faithful FIRE practitioners make time for fun and self-indulgence. FI enthusiasts, on the other hand, use some of the principles of financial planning to get to their FIRE number as quickly as possible. But this isn't always the best way to do it. There are a lot of common FIRE tips, like maximize company matching in 401k plans. That's $1 you don't have to earn or not spend in order to save. Tax-friendly accounts like a Roth IRA can help you avoid paying taxes on your money when you're older. To get better long-term returns than with cash, invest in low-cost index funds. A stable source of income like commercial real estate or rental properties worth investing in. Pay off debt that costs a lot like cars, credit cards, and high-interest student loans as soon as you can. Use credit card points program if you can be responsible with your money and don't maintain a balance. Learn a new skill or start a side job that will make you more money. Be more cost conscious. If you want to get a new car every 3 years, don't buy one. Instead, buy a used one and keep it as long as possible. Ride a bike or use a low-cost transportation to cut costs even more. Instead of buying a new appliance or paying a handyman, learn how to fix things around the house. Cut back on things like your cell phone, cable, internet, and other recurring costs where you can, if it's not too hard. And lastly, take advantage of free ways to have fun. The person who wants to be financially free is very careful to make sure that each of these tips is met, and even exceeded by the person who works. They do everything with a purpose. Every dollar is assigned a job. FIRE supporters know that each of their small actions will help them reach their retirement goal, which will only happen faster with more effort. A standard FIRE strategy. A good way to figure out how much money you need to save is to ask yourself a few simple questions and then do the math. Ask yourself questions like, how much money do you need to live on an early retirement? And how quickly do you want this to happen? After you answer these two questions, you can start working to see if your goal is possible. Let's start with the first number, which is how much money you think you'll spend each year when you're in your retirement. According to the 4% rule, your retirement savings must be big enough for you to take out 4% of them each year. This rule is a good one to keep in mind. This means that your nest egg must be 25 times the amount you'll take out the first year. In each year that passes, the amount you can take out may rise because of inflation. When we use this concept in the previous example, we show that someone who planned on living $50,000 a year would need to save $1.25 million. If your expectations for annual expenses in retirement aren't as low as they used to be, you may need to save even more money. The median US household income is now closer to $60,000 per year. With the next question, when do you want to retire? Let's start with $1.25 million. A 25-year-old person who wants to retire at 40 with a $1.25 million nest egg needs to save $83,000 per year in a savings account at current interest rates. This is how much money they need. As you can see, that's not possible for many people who don't earn a lot. However, there are ways to increase how much money you save and how quickly your savings grow. So you don't have to do all the work on your own. FIRE isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. Even if you only reach 50% of your goal, it's still a big deal and will give you a lot of money freedom. A lot of money is hard to save, but it's easier to build up a lot of wealth by investing some of that money over time. Investing as much money as you can, as soon as you can, will help you become debt-free. What does FIRE mean to you? It's one of the cool things about the FIRE movement that its members come from all walks of life and all types of income. To become financially free, you don't need to be a Wall Street executive. You can speed up your path to FI by following a few simple financial planning rules. People who retire early are more likely to have a lot of different options about it. Getting rich doesn't make you have to quit your job right away, but it does give you the option. A lot of people don't like the idea that FIRE requires giving up too much of what's going on now. However, many people who live the FIRE lifestyle say it can be very rewarding to live this way. But learning how to fix a leaky faucet on your own can save you hundreds of dollars over hiring a handyman or plumber. It can also help you do a lot of more things on your own. FIRE supporters also say that the lifestyle is good for both your body and your mind. With a camping or backpacking trip with your family and close friends, not only does it cost less, but it can also be more meaningful because you can get to spend time together. But how much sacrifice you and your family have to make for fire depends on your goals. How much money you have and what you're willing to give up or cut back on to get your savings rate as high as possible. It's also possible to find out over time that many things that were hard to give up are things that you're better off without. It's worth trying to live a simple, less expensive life that emphasizes experience over things, especially if it helps you become financially independent as soon as you can. We hope you enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, click the notification bell, and leave us a comment below. We love to hear from you, and we'll be doing a random name drawing of the first unique 100 commenters of this video. The lucky winner will get a $20 Amazon gift card. So get involved and don't be shy.